ito ng initial reaction ko lang to, no? Ano po bang klaseng Tribune of the People yung Solicitor General na ganun? Na napakabilis niyang magturo sa akin bilang public enemy number 1, and then ngayon na naman papakawalan niya yung isang personalidad na nasa sentro ng usapin ng PDAF scam. Ang alam ko dyan, sapat ang ebidensya, malakas ang ebidensya. Her guilt dun sa serious illegal detention case was proven beyond reasonable doubt by the trial court. I hope na hindi maapektuhan yung mga pending PDAF cases. Siyempre ibang kaso ito, this is a serious illegal detention. Pero dun nga ito, yung buong usapin ng PDAF scam na yan ay nag-umpisa dyan sa kaso na yan ng illegal detention. Hindi ho ba kaya nga ho na-discover natin yung scam na yan, yung Napoles PDAF scam, ay dahil nga na-detain against his will si Ben-Hur.
Assessment in a vacuum, aren't you considering even the impact or the what role Janet Napoles played in our history the last 6 years?
You know, every case has its own peculiarities and facts. So this is a case of serious illegal detention. My role as a lawyer and as the Solicitor General of the Philippines, as I said, is to see to it that every person, that justice must be done to serve. Even yung sinabi mo, in a vacuum, okay? In a vacuum in the sense that we will not be swayed by extraneous facts, extraneous circumstances. We will just focus on the case. Is the judgment correct or not? If we believe that the judgment is not correct and it will put an innocent person behind bars for the rest of her life, then we will not do justice if we will not right what is to make right what is wrong. In other words, we cannot be blind to injustice. And in this case, injustice was done to Janet Napoles.
Sir, based on your reply, will that be the blueprint in revisiting the other cases involving the senators or former cases, like assessing them in a vacuum also?
That is not my concern, actually. It might be the concern of the legislators or what, but so far as my office is concerned, what is important to us is that we rendered justice fairly, and not because of possible,
But the President has already made it public that he wants to revisit the Napoles cases. Have you made any actions toward that?
Well, I don't know the context in which he said that. It could be with respect to the DAP and FIDAP, probably. But definitely not in the context of this case, the serious illegal detention.
No, so, but are you revisiting the other cases? Yes or no?
Well, it would depend on the evidence when those cases are decided. They are not yet decided.
Because you said you want to ensure that justice is done, are there any other cases in which you are reviewing to ensure that an innocent person is safe? Or is Napoles your priority in the reviewing of other judgments?
Well, in the history of the Office of the Solicitor General, we have exercised the power of tribune, the tribune of the people. In fact, during my stay here, I've been here for how many months? About 7 months. I have also exercised the power of the People's Tribune. Well, one example would be, I think, the case of the COMELEC extending the deadline to file the contributions and expenses, I did not side with the COMELEC in that case. I decided with the petitioners. And again, there was this this anomaly in the license plates, I think. I did not side with the Department of Transportation, but I sided with the petitioners. And there is this Pantranco case that has been in litigation for around 30 years. I sided with the complainants, the drivers who were deprived of their wages, which were not paid, because the only payment that was feasible was the franchise for the buses. So I could go on and on. I forgot the other cases. But if we see that there is injustice, we will not close our eyes to it. At least I can speak for myself. Okay. The NDF, okay. What is your question again in the NDF?
Yung po kasi ibang mga NDF, lawyers po ng NDF consultants, nag-file po sila ng motion para po ma-defer yung judgment dahil po may prospect pa na matuloy pa yung stocks. Sir, ano po yung reaction yun? Ma-defer muna po yung pagpapa-aresto dun sa mga NDF consultants na talaga.
Is there a legal pleading to that effect?
Yes, sir, based po dun sa info na meron kami, may mga NDF consultants po na nag-file po ng mga motions.
Well, as far as I know, we have not received any motions yet. But we made our own manifestation and manifestation with respect to that. Manifestation and motion. Actually, the basis why the bail for provisional liberty was cancelled is the order of the Supreme Court itself. Okay. We filed this manifestation and motion for the issuance of recommitment order for the NDF consultants because the Supreme Court, in its ruling in the case of there are four GR numbers. GR number 176830, 185587. 185636 and 19005. The government of the Philippines, through the Office of the Solicitor General, intervened at the start of these peace negotiations to allow certain accused to be given provisional liberty so that they could join the peace panel for the NDF. The Supreme Court granted our request, but imposed certain conditions, and there are 4 conditions. I'll read to you. The first condition is like this: the provisional liberty shall only be for the purpose of their attendance and participation in the formal peace negotiations in Oslo, Norway, commencing in August 2016 up to 6 months thereafter, or as soon as the peace negotiations are concluded or terminated, whichever is earlier. Once their participation ceases or the peace negotiations are terminated, their respective bonds shall be deemed automatically canceled. I repeat that. Once their participation ceases or the peace negotiations are terminated, their respective bonds shall be deemed automatically canceled. Now, when President Duterte said that the peace negotiations are terminated, then the provisional liberty through their respective bonds were deemed automatically canceled. And what is the effect of that? There is no more provisional liberty, and therefore they should be recommitted to the detention facilities. Because if they do not, if they are not placed in their detention cells, they are considered fugitives from justice. There's no more bail, di ba? So even citizens arrest, pwede. If you're a fugitive of justice. So that is the basis. It's not the JASIG. JASIG is a defunct 1995 agreement. It has served its purpose already. So that is the legal basis why these NDF consultants who were serving sentences, or they were detained while the cases were going on, should be arrested. The cancellation of their bail was automatic, conditioned when the peace negotiations were terminated. And you know why this should be obeyed? Because Supreme Court decisions are judicial decisions. They form part of the law of the land that is in our jurisprudence. So the argument of those involved here, the NDF consultants, that the JASIG provision should be complied with, is not applicable because the law of the land says, insofar as this Supreme Court decision is concerned, or resolution, once the peace negotiations are terminated, the provisional liberties, the bonds are automatically cancelled, period. Yeah, I hope that's clear to everybody here. Anything else? There being none, our session is adjourned. Okay. Okay na?